Okay, so here's a fun one for you. Have you ever actually stopped to wonder if fish get thirsty? I know it sounds like the setup to a joke, right? But the real answer is this amazing dive into biology that's going to totally change how you think about life underwater. Let's get into it. I mean, it really feels like a trick question, doesn't it? Fish are literally surrounded by water their entire lives. They breathe in it. So how on earth could they ever need to drink it? Well, it turns out the answer is way more complicated and way cooler than you'd think. All right, so let's get the quick answer out of the way. Technically, no. Fish don't get thirsty in the way you and I do. They don't get that dry mouth feeling, that desperate need for a glass of water. I mean, they're swimming in the stuff. But, and this is a huge but, that is just the very beginning of the story. Because here is the weird twist. While fish don't feel thirsty, their bodies are basically locked in this constant 24/7 life or death battle to manage the water inside them. Their entire survival hinges on a super delicate balancing act. And this whole story really splits into two completely different challenges. It all depends on where the fish lives. It's kind of like a tale of two fish, living in two extremes. So let's dive into the first one. So imagine you're a fish just hanging out in the ocean. The water all around you is way saltier than the water inside your body. And because of this natural process called osmosis, water always wants to move from a less salty place to a saltier one. This means the ocean is constantly trying to suck the fresh water right out of the fish's body. It's wild, right? A fish in the middle of the vast ocean is always fighting dehydration. So how in the world do they deal with that? Well, they actually have to drink salt water all the time, on purpose. But then what about all that salt? They have these amazing specialized cells in their gills that work like these tiny, super powerful pumps. And along with their kidneys, they just push all that extra salt right back out into the ocean. It is an incredible built-in filtration system. Okay, now let's completely flip the script. Let's talk about a freshwater fish in a lake or a river. It has the exact opposite problem. The water around it is much less salty than its body. So thanks to that same process, osmosis, water is constantly seeping into the fish. It's always in danger of basically bloating up like a water balloon. And their solution is kind of genius in its simplicity. For one, they almost never drink water on purpose. Why would they? And since water is always sneaking in through their skin and gills, their number one survival tactic is to just get rid of it. They do this by peeing a lot. They produce massive amounts of really diluted urine just to constantly flush out all that extra water. So when you put it all together, you have these two completely opposite realities. The saltwater fish is in an environment that's trying to dry it out, so it has to drink and filter salt. The freshwater fish is in an environment that's trying to flood it, so it has to avoid drinking and constantly expel water. It's just a constant balancing act, a totally different struggle for survival. You see, all of this means we have to completely redefine what thirst even means for a fish. It's not a feeling, it's not a craving for a drink. It's something way more fundamental, something automatic. The proper scientific term for this whole process is osmoregulation. And honestly, that's the best way to think about a fish's thirst. It's not a feeling. It's the body's automatic, nonstop, full-time obsession with keeping its internal water and salt levels in that perfect, life-sustaining balance. And when you think about it that way, you realize that for a fish, water isn't just the place it lives. It's absolutely everything. It's their air, it's their drink, and it's their full-time survival puzzle, all rolled into one. It really gets you thinking, doesn't it? What other simple questions about the world around us have these kinds of complex, absolutely mind-bending answers just waiting to be discovered? Something to ponder. Thanks for listening.